This is Revved Up with Bill McKinney, a smarter conversation about cars, the auto industry, life, and whatever else we feel like talking about. Revved Up starts now.
All right, so we got a big show, got a lot of things going on we're going to jump into. We're going to pick up off of last week's show. We're going to talk a little bit about the FTC compliance that's out there, how it's affecting dealers, and what does that mean for consumers. I think it's a wonderful thing. We're going to talk about some of the events that we have locally. So we are obviously, this entire show is sponsored by Tallahassee Ford and a lot of the great work that we got going on in the community. We've got some really cool events coming up. We have our Tallahassee Ford golf tournament, and it is for mental health awareness, and we have partnered up with TMH Foundation. So one of the neat things about that, real quick, and getting involved in some of these charities, there's some that, there's portions of the money that go places and more of it or less of it or this or that. 100% of every dollar that's collected goes to it. We paid for everything. So all the money that's collected literally is made out to TMH Foundation. So they get it 100%. So, and you get your sheet for tax deductions as well. I think we got a pretty full crew out there. I think everything's filled up already.
Yep.
But come out and watch it. Have a good time with us. Enjoy. It's our first one. We've participated in a lot of events. This is the first one that we've put on outside on our own. With a lot of resources and help. So thank you for everyone involved, and we look forward to seeing you guys out there and have a good time.
When is this going to be now? This is Monday.
Monday,
the
May
18th.
Yep. Noon shotgun.
At
Golden Eagle
Golf Course. It's beautiful out there. It's going to be a great time. The weather's going to be beautiful. So can't wait for all of our sponsors to see their signs out there, and it's going to be a great time had by all.
Yeah, we sold out of all the whole sponsorships pretty early on, and just recently we've added 2 or 3 more teams.
That's
I think
right.
we're up to about 18-ish or so.
Yes, sir.
Which is really a good for the first run at it. And again, Bill makes a great point. I was a golf professional here in town, so I'm pretty up to speed on how these things work. And typically, you've got some expenses involved with the players and lunch and all that sort of stuff, and that kind of comes out of the entry fees. Mm-hmm. Well, this is very different. This is being paid directly to TMH through them, tax deductible, and Tallahassee Ford is putting on the event. So your team entry fee goes directly to TMH for mental health awareness, and it's not a net type thing. It's just all the money is going directly to them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something we got used to doing, sponsorships and kind of paying a certain amount. For us, the idea was let's just do that, and that way it makes it easy to put all the proceeds directly towards it. And also mental health awareness. And I apologize. I thought we were going to run this campaign all year. I guess it's just for the month of May. Mm-hmm. We could spend all year on it and then some. It needs that much of a spotlight on there. And again, I come back to saying that my understanding and my experience with it is not everybody wants to talk about all the things that go on in that arena, I guess you will, if you say
yeah,
something like that.
Everybody's affected by it in some way, some fashion.
Whether it's you, whether it's a family member that you're trying to help. I mean, it's hard. It was one of the, we all have our challenges in life, but having a family member that was going through their bouts with it was one of the most difficult things, if not the most in my life as far as how it can affect you. And I know other people are going through it. And I also talked about an employer in town with 132 employees. I'm talking to folks that are coming to me with not really a problem at work, but a problem they got going on. And somehow through the line, I became the person that they felt comfortable confiding in. And I guess it doesn't matter whether I want that responsibility or not. They chose it, and as a good human being, we're supposed to do the right thing with it. And I'm learning every day what is the right thing, and the most I can come up with is be patient and talk to one another about it. So kind of, my push was I know other businesses have that going on in their world too, so we can talk about it as well and help each other through it. So I think it'll take that and then some as we all kind of go down this road. So thanks for everybody that supported it, and we'll get the list together and make sure we give everybody the proper accolades because it's a big deal, and we're certainly greatly appreciative of it. We also have, the Mother's Day event got pushed back because of the rain. And that's something, near and dear to all of us. My wife and Mallory, they kind of got together and were really championing that. And we have now pushed that to
the 31st of this month.
That's car dealership stuff. I'm going to say, I'm going to be the devil's advocate. Always car dealership. We found a way to put Mother's Day at the end of the month, Dale. I mean,
Well, we had a lot going on that weekend. We had Mother's Day, and congratulations to all the grads that graduated that weekend. So it was a big deal. And certainly we wanted their families to be with their mothers during that time. So we made the decision to go on the 31st and have a pop-up shop out there, have a band, have some food trucks. We want you to come out and have a good time. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the days with moms. Visit the shops or local vendors that are doing a lot of work around town. And it gives you an opportunity to see what's out there in the community. We're not asking you to come in and buy a car.
Nope.
Asking you to come out and hang out, tell a joke or two, say hello to people, listen to some great music. We've had great bands out there.
We've had some phenomenal bands out on our weekend events. The other thing, too, is I guess that's the way you look at it, is the glass half empty or half full. Moms, we get to celebrate you twice.
Yeah.
Last weekend, and then hang out with us at the end of the month. And I promise you, we're good company. You'll enjoy the personalities, that's for sure.
And it's the Sunday after Memorial Day weekend. So it's well away from Memorial Day weekend. It's not going to mess up your out of town plans. You kind of come back in town. Good way to decompress.
That's
looking for something to do.
On these events where Sundays, is a day that you guys know how I feel about that. I didn't want to be open Sundays. In fact, when we were, I closed it. So we agreed to do the last Sunday of the month. And what I found is that day for some of these activities is pretty cool because maybe the Saturday activities have come and gone. Everybody's gone home and now they're ready to stretch their legs out, and then we're an opportunity to come hang out. So, to Andrew's point, folks, if you're thinking about coming out and joining us, we do not expect you to buy a car. Come out and hang out with us. On the Saturday that you wake up and you want one, I hope you'll consider us. But along the way, we're a great company, and we love being in Tallahassee, and this is Tallahassee. This is how we get to do business, is really hanging out with the community. So we'll be looking forward to seeing you out there and celebrating you.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking forward to all the mothers out there.
Absolutely. How are we doing on time?
The bell has brought a new level of excitement to the show. I mean, it's a simple thing, and I just want everybody to know that this bell has been on the desk for a little bit.
I've been eyeing it.
And so now we have an opportunity to use it and abuse it.
I'll give you a quick bell story. About 10 years ago, I had a surgery, and the doctor gave me a little bell.
Like the ring?
To get up, because I wasn't supposed to get up for a couple of days. You know what I mean?
A bill bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He told me, you ring it loud. You don't get up. You sit down. You relax. Yada yada yada. He's telling his whole story time with my wife sitting there like she's buying it. Dude, we were not out of the doctor's office, and I grabbed that little bell. And I was like,
ding, ling, ling, ling.
She took the thing out of there.
What is that thing called?
The thingity thing. That's what Nicki Minaj calls it. The thingity thing.
Okay.
You listen to the rest of the song.
All right. Fantastic.
All right, here we go. So here in just about a minute, we're going to take a quick break, folks. We got to let the sponsor speak. Certainly, we are sponsored by Tallahassee Ford, and we're going to come right back. We're going to pick up there with a reminder of some of our current events. We're going to talk about employee pricing and what does that actually mean. You could lump that right in there with FTC compliance. What is the price? With the real price, please stand up.
Yes,
Exactly.
good.
We're going to tell you a little bit about it. What does that mean? Dale's got a couple of examples, one that he just did. A little something that you'll have on your mind if you're out there in the car market, if you're thinking about getting yourself a car this weekend. So we're going to close up here for a minute. We'll see you guys back in just a bit.
You're listening to Revved Up with Bill McKinney. Insight, experience, and straight talk from inside the auto industry.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Saturday, folks. I'm here with Dale Brown and my friend Andrew DeWolf.
Hello, hello.
Hey.
Dale, are you going to bail Andrew out of that weird statement?
Sometimes you have to let him go down with the ship. Yeah, just let him go down with the ship on that one.
So, all right. Well, we're moving on past the auto injector thing.
Yes.
No? Yeah. I thought you were talking about that.
The auto injector thing?
Yeah. You were talking about right-siding it? Beep, beep.
Oh, no, that's an Apple Tag.
Entirely different. That's what it was, Apple Tag. It made me think of something when you said that. So you said you have an air tag so your wife knows where you're at?
Yes.
You guys read that meme where when it says when you're in my 20s, don't tell me what to do, don't tell me this, don't tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're in your 50s, like every 15 minutes, what do I do? Where was I supposed to be?
Well, it's very similar to that, but like also the weather. Like when you get older, when you're a kid, right? When it's raining outside, you want to go play in the rain.
Yes.
You go and do a whole lot of fun. Now, when it's raining, you start driving down the road and be like, man, we sure do need a little bit of rain. This rain is nice. This is a steady,
Ground
proper
condition. It's been so dry so long. That's all just going to run down to the low point.
Yeah, that's right. It's a proper rain.
Just run off, just water run off. It needs that slow Indian drops where it just pelts the ground.
I didn't even know what a slow, proper rain was until this last week.
I deciphered that from some of my country relatives' sayings. I came up with that. What did I say?
What?
Slow pelting.
Slow pelting.
Slow proper.
Slow proper.
Big drops.
Big drops will get you.
Ground penetrating.
Yes. Well, we got some big news. We got employee pricing for everybody, don't we?
We do.
And Dale's got some examples of that and what's going on with that.
The reason why I wanted you to give some examples is when it says employee pricing, is it pessimist when you're negative? I don't try to be negative, but sometimes I'm always like, what's the catch?
Yeah, I know. I had a customer.
Is there really?
Yeah, I'll tell you a quick story. I have a customer that's looking for a certain truck, and we have it on the way. And he was looking around at other websites and found almost the identical truck. And he sent me a message last night, and he said, hey, can y'all match this pricing? This particular dealer is doing employee pricing right now. Will y'all match that price? And I said, yeah, absolutely. And most people don't realize exactly what they're getting. Ford Motor Company during the Kentucky Derby announced employee pricing between then and July the 4th weekend. And most people, when they see employee pricing on a website, think, okay, I get whatever deal that Tallahassee Ford employee gets. Okay. And it's not that. Okay. Give you a quick example. As a Tallahassee Ford employee, I get what's called D plan or dealer plan pricing. I get 2 of those PIN numbers per year.
And that price is already printed on the invoice in the factory.
So at the bottom of the invoice, and
it's got them all across the bottom.
Exactly.
All the different plans.
Everything's right there. What invoice is, what D plan is, what A plan is, what X plan is.
Nothing real technical.
No, it's right there in black and white. And so anyway, as a Tallahassee Ford employee, I'm fortunate enough to get 2 of those per year. Well, this is way better than that. This is Ford Motor Company employee pricing, okay, which is called A plan.
All those people that got Broncos when you didn't during COVID,
they
got them real cheap.
That's right.
A plan.
That's right.
Sorry,
absolutely. So anyway, this person who I'm working with saw this on another website, and he said, "Well, y'all match it?" And I said, "Yeah, everybody's doing it. It's nationwide. You know, you get employee or A plan pricing right now between now and July the 4th." So it is way different than what people would perceive when they go on a dealership website and say, okay, I'm getting the same thing that a Tallahassee Ford person pays. It's better than that. Give you an example is I priced out one today for a customer, and our invoice price, A plan, was almost $3,000 behind what our invoice price was for a 2026 F-150 Lariat.
Invoice would typically be approximate cost for the dealership.
Correct.
Plus or minus
MSRP on this truck was $77,000, and their A plan price, and there's $1,000 rebate. Got almost, it was right at $10,000 off. Okay. Like $9,000 of the A plan number and another $1,000 on the rebate. This is a truck that's sitting on the lot, you know, $10,000 is a pretty good pop.
It's a big deal. I mean, those kind of discounts are the ones that you hear people talk about in the, you know, the days of this, that, and the other thing. And then all of a sudden, when those kind of discounts don't exist from the factory, that's where the question is, well, what about when so-and-so got it? It's when they took advantage of opportunities like this. So true employee pricing, they haven't done that many times.
No.
Variations of this or that. It's, you know, it certainly is, when I say variations, meaning it costs the consumer more, period. They've had variations of that, but true employee pricing as in A plan pricing.
Yes.
Factory employee pricing. I don't know.
All right. So I'm going to play devil's advocate for just a second.
It's cheaper
so what you're telling me, it's a better deal. Forget that whatever we know about car deals, it's a great deal.
When you bought your truck at employee pricing, when you did yours for the D plan for dealership,
right,
it'd probably been $3 or $4 grand cheaper than that actual A plan. When we sell one, so I used to get these calls as salespeople. I don't know if you guys ever hear of anybody getting them, but you would get the retired factory employees, and they would be calling around to make sure that you took it, because not every dealer would participate in it. Because one, that's a truck that I'm taking off the lot that's no longer available for my customers.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you don't consider that customer your customer, that's up to the dealership's business model. But two, it's typically a loser deal for quite a few $1,000s to the dealer, and the dealer gets reimbursed that from Ford utilizing that PIN number that Dale's talking about. So A plan's the deal. That's an opportunity to buy. I want to talk a little bit about that real quick. I want to maybe change gears. I want to keep the A plan pricing in there, but I want to talk about that. When I talk about doing volume business, and I talk about that in a lot of our shows, there's a response, and I talk about responsibility to the market. We are actually right now in the season of reckoning for either responsibility or not responsibility. And what do I mean by that? I've done a terrible job stating exactly what we did and didn't do during COVID. So I'm going to try my best to say it quickly and cleanly now. How much time do I got, Jason? 4 minutes. I'll go quick. We'll start with one. When I walked in the door to the dealership in February of 21, first thing I wanted to do was make sure we were not charging over sticker on cars. One, I don't like it. I never liked it. As much as I like cool cars when they come out, I've always been at odds with that over sticker program, because at some point the car cools off. And very rarely does somebody have that 1969 just specialty car that appreciates. They depreciate whether they're on my lot or whether they're in your driveway. Fact. Is that how you do it, Clock?
Yeah,
Yep.
That's a fact.
You got to clock it.
You get lucky, you get the one, yada, yada, yada. They depreciate whether they're on my lot or in your driveway, period. That's what they do. So when I talk about being responsible to our market, when I walked in, I wanted to make sure that we weren't charging over sticker. Well, the problem is I had a bunch of people I had to keep employed.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have enough cars because the manufacturer wasn't supplying. I want to say we were like 30-something cars is what I had for new vehicles.
30. That's
and
right.
I thought that was a handful. Now, and you think back to a couple of months ago, I had almost 700 on the ground. So that much of a swing. Well, when I decided not to charge over sticker, the problem is we were only getting a certain amount of cars. And when I say a certain amount, it was probably that 20 or 30 vehicles a month, pretty much. So you had all these other dealers that were selling their cars to brokers for sticker price, and then the brokers were charging their fees elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I did was I bought bunches of F-150s and Super Duties, and I paid pretty much sticker price for them. And some I sold at sticker price. I made no money. It was an in and out. And people, like when I'm talking to my friends, I go, why would you do that? Because I needed to be in the market beyond the era of COVID.
Today or that day, right?
I needed to keep that customer satisfied within my market. So whenever this was that we were dealing with changed and that landscape began to level out, I still had customers retained in my marketplace by getting them a vehicle that wasn't charging over sticker. Some of them I did charge over sticker, but it wasn't an addendum. It was actually options. What I would do is the ones that I would have to pay over sticker, like $1,000 or $2,000, I'd put a lift kit and tires and wheels or some variation, and I would internally cost that out. So the difference between cost and retail would eat up my losses, and I could sell that truck and make zero. But again, I had a vehicle in the market. I took a trade in 50% of the time. So I was self-supporting my used car market and keeping the service department. So you're trying to keep all these things moving while not taking advantage of the one thing that's there. This is the customer, because I need them to be there when this passes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When they're ready to trade that truck or car with you in 3 or 4 years,
I need to be
they're
able
not
to trade
buried
again.
in it. Yeah.
Well, that's something that, that I want to shed another light on. We're in part of the market now where our customers, we're not experiencing some of the same craziness that I'm seeing out there. We talked about negative equity that we've seen where people are brought in and tried to trade it and they've been upside down $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. And I was listening to something on social media about one of the car guys that's out there and said the average negative equity right now is $7,000. Well, it's actually not extraordinarily horrible, I guess, in terms of what I've seen at times or not, but it's still $7,000. So what does that mean? That means the next car you buy, that $7,000 of negative equity is going to tack on $100-ish, plus or minus, depending on your rate and term, to your payment. Well, when we took the approach that we did, we made sure that our customers were tradable. They could trade their car without losing a ton of money. And to me, that was the long-term win. And those are the things we discussed early on. Dale, tell me about Tallahassee. How do I understand the town in which I live in that I thought was a city? So folks, we're going to come back. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to jump back into it because it's a hot topic. And again, I've done a poor job on my part saying what we did, thinking everybody can read my mind. My wife will tell you I'm bad about that, but we'll come back and we'll pick it up. We'll pick it up and keep going just a minute. See you guys.
You're listening to Revved Up with Bill McKinney, presented by Tallahassee Ford.
Welcome back, folks. We're back. Happy Saturday. Hope we caught you traveling where we can borrow your ear, at least one of them, for just a moment. We're going to jump back into some of the things about pricing on vehicles, negative equity, stuff that's going on in the marketplace. What does that mean to you? We were taking a few minutes and talking, again, going back to COVID and talking about the stage that's set today. Some of the things that happened then have set today's stages, whether it means processes that dealerships are changing, processes that banks are changing. I guess you could say the state government, FTC, getting involved and making sure that they hold dealers accountable for fees and things like that. So many questions I got, and really none of us in this room can answer them. With all of our experience, we can't answer them. The one that can answer them is you folks, the consumers. Dealer fees. Have they run their course? Do you care if there's a dealer fee as long as the price that you see is the price you pay and you know where everything is? Do you even care? And that's kind of where I get watching all the dealers jump through all these hoops and reach around their elbow to scratch their behind to try to figure out how to make all their operating systems work, because all of a sudden, You got to be transparent. And it's just like, are you kidding me?
Why do I have to be transparent now?
No, like it's this hard. Does that mean that the dealership world was really and truly that far from transparency that people were having to freak out and make all these crazy patches and, have, calls multiple times a week?
When it should just be real easy.
Yeah. I mean, ours has always been on there. I mean, they got me so freaked out. I'm looking at, are we wrong? I mean, we got to do something. What was going on? Anyway, talking about that, we talked about COVID because one of the things I was reading this morning was talking about the amount of negative equity that folks have out in the marketplace. And it occurred to me, like we know intimately all the deals that are going on at the dealership. And when somebody's really upside down, we talk about it. How did it happen? Was there a way they could protect themselves? Did they buy it from us? Are we being one of those dealers that's trying to push people too hard on long-term financing, which has an overall impact on their ability to trade in the future? So we look at those and we try to make sure that we are the responsible dealer. We're not just trying to extend your contract out for 3 months to get you an accommodating payment while really not caring about what does that mean whenever you get ready to trade again in the future. So those things are all important because they put us in a position where we're able to continue to do future business. That was very important to me. I know it kind of jumped the topic of what we were going to discuss, but I've done a terrible job talking about it. And if anything, I've left us susceptible to get lumped in with other dealers that didn't do the same thing. And I'm also not knocking any dealer that did charge over sticker because all the same, you have to make a choice. When I walked in the door and I had 30 something new cars on the ground, we had to decide how we were going to operate.
Right. You got to make payroll. You got to pay people. You got to pay the electric. You got to pay the bills.
Correct. And, those decisions aren't always easy, right? That's why I got the job I got. That's why they're mine. Some of them suck a lot. They suck for a long time, but you got to get through it. And one of them was getting ourselves in a position where we weren't in that rut. And I mean, on day one, we had a general sales manager and he says, well, what do you think? And I said, well, buddy, the store that you're tied with, you should not be tied with them. And then I explained to him, I had this store 14 years ago for a very short time. And we aren't the store that you've been running, bud. We got work to do. And he said, what does that mean? I said, if you wake up in the morning and they passed us, you don't need to come back.
Right.
Don't make it weird. We can have a beer, we can hang out, we can do other things, but we ain't working together because we got a market to support. And that means getting in there and getting people good deals and making sure that we sell them a car, their friends a car, their family a car, their next set of folks get a car because we're the dealer that's looking out for them for the long term, not just the right now. So that had to be a mindset. And when I talk about not blaming some dealers that charged over sticker, there were some dealers when I sat up here at the Capitol building and they were pushing that bill through where you had manufacturers that wanted to jump the dealer's fence. In fact, we talked about it briefly when Ted was here. The manufacturers want to sell in their vision, and I'm going to call it a delusion. And I'm going to say it with respect because they do a lot of things right, but retail ain't one of them. Okay, that's the arena where we are. We do it full time all day, every day, and we still have our struggles. Building a car through an assembly line where everything has a schedule and a timeline is one thing. Dealing with a consumer who's also bringing commitment emotions to contracts, down payments, monetary obligations, those don't happen on your timeline. They happen on the consumer's timeline. And that is the undiscussed collision course that would happen immediately with direct-to-sale consumers.
Right.
Not everybody's a Tesla buyer. Not everybody's a Tesla customer. Not every manufacturer is Elon Musk, and that's all real stuff that people aren't talking about. Period. The end. Run with it. Do what you want, but that's just a fact. Saying that to get back to this, that store that had 20 or 30 cars on the ground that had to continue to keep everybody working, they had to make a decision of how are they going to stay viable. So I'm not going to just jump in and throw stones at them. That's for the public to decide based off what did or didn't happen. But I'm going to say when I back up and I looked at it, I tried to understand what did and didn't make sense based off of their ability to operate and control what they did and didn't have at the time, if that's fair. Yeah, because when I jumped our inventory and started doing our volume, I mean, we had to go to $20 million. We were carrying $20 million of inventory on the ground. I was a little bit nervous.
That's real money.
That's real money with real interest due on it. And the floor plan means it's money I borrowed. And when we did the first chunk, we didn't even ask for the extra money on floor plan. We just went ahead and spent an extra $5 million like it was all good.
Like it was.
What are you going to do? We're going to sell them before they hit the ground. Gone. Get them out
Sold.
So those kind of decisions really work out well for the consumers in our marketplace, and it leads us to where we are now. As of yesterday, when I opened the rankings, we were literally number one, sitting with Ford in our Orlando zone, which is that G zone that even includes Mullinex Ford. So they've been one of the harder ones to get because they hold a pretty good place in the number one position for volume. But every one of our Ford stores that surrounds us, that's a competing store, we were more volume sold than every one of them collectively combined.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in my opinion, when people ask me, hey, did your experiment work? I have to say yes, because we grew that much. We didn't stay in the 30 car range. We're, doing 272 cars. So thank you to the public for being a partner and helping us achieve our volume. And thank you to you guys for, agreeing to stay with me when I told you we're going to sell cars for no profit, but it'll all be good in the future. Jason, would you have stayed if they said we need you to run the radio station, but no, you're not going to get paid?
Man, I couldn't have stayed. I'm sorry.
I talk about it. I got some really good people that stayed with me, and I know for a fact they could have went elsewhere, particularly during that time, and made a whole bunch of money. So, I can't thank the folks that were loyal enough.
I got this thing where I like to eat,
Yeah.
I'm still good with ramen noodles. Put a little of the extra, what is it, the little chicken cube?
The bouillon?
Yeah, put a little extra bouillon in there. You're good, bro. Let's come on. We'll all get high blood pressure. Let's go.
That's funny.
That was my rant. We should probably make that a section of the show to rant, because it's a big deal. I've never liked addendums. I liked them even less during COVID. I was conflicted because it was 1 cubic metric shit ton of money to leave on the side of the road. But at the end of the day, I think we had talked about it when it came to like a Raptor R. And like, what about a Raptor R? They were bringing 50 grand over. I'm like, we're going to get one a year. We're not going to lose our integrity over that 50 grand. Let it ride. Move it down.
I feel like it's got you revved up.
It does. It's got me revved up. I see you put it on in the background over there.
I like that.
All right, so we can move on. We can keep talking. Employee pricing. What does that mean? That means a true A plan. That means it's cheaper than D plan, which is what I would typically buy on. You'd have invoice, or you'd have MSRP. You'd have invoice. You'd have D plan, and you got A plan. It's a great deal, folks. If you don't know what it means and you're curious, here's the good news: you don't have to buy a car. You can ask questions online. You can come down and ask questions. We're not going to make you buy a car. And guess what? If you change your mind and you want out tomorrow, we're going to let you out. We're going to let you out. It's okay. It's just not a big deal. Somebody else will buy the car. I say it all the time. Y'all sell my wife's demos.
Yep.
Jason, I don't know if you understand the gravity of that.
No.
We can take a car back from a customer if they decide they want out. We can let them out and resell the car because they sell my wife's demos.
What?
Yeah, they're pre-loved. Curb rash, Skittles, and all.
Sure.
French fries.
This will be the one show she
No
listens to.
dog hair. No dog hair.
No, Ella's allergic.
Chick-fil-A.
Unfortunately, yeah, Chick-fil-A. No kidding.
Chick-fil-A.
My
That's your
goodness,
fault.
man.
Definitely the scuffed up wheels, though, right?
Oh yeah, right out.
Oh,
of the gate.
yeah.
Right out of the gate. All right, next topic. Let's go.
Okay. We got 2 minutes. All right, so we're gonna do a little trimming here.
Dominito.
We were gonna touch a little bit more on the FTC, and where we're standing with that, and I think we're compliant. We're good.
We are. I'm going to jump outside the FTC because we're good. The market will decide that one. The next one I got for the public, and I want some to hear your input, is tag frames. A lot of
Little license plate trim rings that go around the license plate.
So quick can that conversation brew out of control. My wife was with her friends, and they were sitting around talking. And one of her friends is the daughter of the tax collector, and the conversation about the tag frames came up. And so right away, it got to my wife that our tag frames weren't compliant. I'm like, what are you talking about? We went through legal. We had them checked out. We did all this a couple of years ago. So right away, I start looking into it. I check here. I call Janice. Say, Janice, are we good? Yeah, we went through it. We're good. Okay. I called Ted at NADA. Ted, what's going on? Is there something else new going on with the tag bracket law? Did they change it? And he goes, no, it's the same one they had before. Now they're just going to start enforcing it, kind of like FTC. This has been out for junk fees for quite a while now. They've just now decided to really start enforcing it. So my question is, FTC revolves around dealer fee and junk fees. Should we just get rid of it? Do you care, Dale? If I tell you the price is 20 grand, do you care if it's 20 grand plus $1,000 dealer fee and equals 25?
No.
As long as it's still the same price, right?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I don't know if everybody else is. I'd love to hear some thoughts on it. And the other one is tag brackets. Listen, if I'm spending $7,000 every time I do an order for them, do I need to just skip it? If you're putting it in the trash, let's skip it. Let's put that into the savings and make the deal cheaper. So we're probably running up against the clock real quick. I'm going to take a quick break, come back. Dealer fees and tag brackets. They are hot. See you in a minute.
You're listening to Revved Up with Bill McKinney, presented by Tallahassee Ford.
Welcome back. We're here. This is our final segment for Revved Up with Bill McKinney. We are sponsored by Tallahassee Ford, the Volume 4 dealership here in North Florida.
It's a great place. We make it easy.
We do. We make it too easy.
Very easy.
Yeah. I buy some myself. How many deals do you see in the system where I'm working deals for myself, Dale?
There's a few. There's a few.
We make it way too easy.
Yeah.
If you're a car guy, be careful. Don't come to our store. You will, because you can write your own deal. Once you figure it out, you can kind of get yourself in trouble. You can make your own car deal. Next thing you're like, I bought that.
Yeah, and have a little bit of fun doing it. You're like, wow, this
do
is
it right
fun.
from the website.
Yep.
Listen, if you want to leave comments or anything like that, please check us out on YouTube. Go to Revved Up with Bill McKinney. You'll see our shows on there. You'll see it anywhere we stream, on Spotify, on Apple, and everywhere. Yep. We want to hear your comments. We want to hear from you. We want to hear about the tag brackets and dealer fees.
These are subjects that are driven by the consumer because they get hot, and we see it out in our social media, or I hear about it through other groups that are having conversations. And if it's not really conveyed to us in the proper way, then there's no action that's taken. Nothing's ever changed. Nothing's ever done. And seriously, you guys have heard me say before, I'm really not into having dumb fights and dumb conversations.
Nope.
So if tag brackets and dealer fees are dumb and outdated, talk to me about it. But don't make no mistake. Let's just have the conversation. If I don't charge you a dealer fee, do you think that I'm selling the car for less?
Yes.
No. So there's the answer right there. It's perception. That's what I was asking Dale. If the price of the car is $25,000, do you care if it's 24 plus $1,000 dealer fee, or do you care if it's 25? If it's 25, it's 25, right?
Just however much is coming out of my checkbook. That's
my point of where we are. They've got everybody listing their fees. They got their MSRP, their discount, their da-da. To me, what is the price, dude? Do you even need to have an MSRP and then a sale price, or should it just be one price? That's where I'm curious. I like the MSRP with a discount, because the MSRP on new vehicles, if it's the same MSRP, you're looking at the same car, and maybe there should be something to said for that as far as comparing apples to apples and orange, because you can do that on new F-150s with all the different configurations. You can be comparing different vehicles. You can be comparing two different Lariats in a heartbeat and not realize it. So even me, with all the years that I have and experience in the business and credentials to sign and see anything I want, the first thing I'm going to look for is I print the two MSRPs. And I look at the window sticker. If they're the same, it's going to be the same option code, and then I'll back into it. So from a position of ease, RP, sale price, keep it simple. My question, do you got to put do dealer fees, do tag brackets, do they have a place anymore, or is it old news and down the road motors?
All right. Tell me about this tag bracket, because I hadn't heard all this.
So the little brackets we put on your tags?
And it's not just a dealership tag bracket now. Let's remember that.
It can be your sports.
It can be your little sports one.
Right. See, I haven't heard this.
So at the bottom where you have the county, or it'll say in God we trust, or you can have your county.
Leon or Cullah. Yep. Okay.
So if it covers any of that, or if it's in the corners, or if it's covers any of the numbers up there,
the decals,
so it's a visibility thing.
Yeah, you can be pulled over, and it's a
violation.
Is it a ticketed offense?
Yeah,
I get it now.
Okay. Either way, it's an offense. I don't know to what regard, but
you make it a warning, maybe? I don't know. Who knows?
My point to me is, the dealer, I don't want anybody ever getting pulled over in one of my cars that we sold them because of a tag bracket that we put on it. Yeah. Do I want the advertising? Yes. Do I want it at someone's expense? Hell no. Yeah. You know what I mean? My wife gets nervous. If my wife is to get pulled over, she'd be nervous. I just don't want that to happen to her just because I want a tag bracket on there. So,
yeah, but then again, every tag bracket.
I went one time when I didn't put, I had a Fiat store down in Miami. Ever tell you guys about that?
Fix it again, Tony.
Yeah, nobody ever want a Fiat store on purpose. But with Fiat, I'm so sorry to all the Fiat only stores out there.
They're great cars. They're good little
with
cars.
Fiat, in order to go up with FCA to get Alfa Romeo, you get 3 rounds to meet your minimum sales requirement and service requirement for Fiat. Then you get Alfa Romeo, then you get Maserati. So we wound up climbing all the way up the ladder, but you only get 3 each round. If you miss 3, you're done. Wherever you're at, you're at. So if you start and finish with Fiat, congratulations, bro. You're selling Fiats. So that store was stuck, and they had already failed 2. So they had 1. And if they had failed it, they had a standalone Fiat store in Miami. You may as well be selling purses on the corner, bro. I'm not kidding. Better be really good at used cars. Anyway, my point with that was, again, that was like the Volkswagen store that I got that was losing $150,000 a month. You have to figure out, where do you make some cuts without cutting people, because people are what get you there, right? And so the Fiat store was tag brackets, and I'm serious. Here I am talking about cutting them, and all of a sudden I remember a guy who lost his mind because he didn't have a tag bracket on his car. He was so upset with me. And so it's, the line between profit and greed is a pretty fine line, I guess. But at the end of the day, the consumer is the one that drives it, and that's always why I want to use, my voice in this microphone to ask the questions. Let me hear from you. Go to YouTube, log on, let us know. We got to get a social media thing going for here.
Yeah, I think we got all that in the works right now, as a matter of fact. So it's going to be great. It's going to be good.
Let me just say, we say this in the works, but if we were 15, we'd have had that done already. Jason, we ain't lying to each other. That's your lie. You tell how you want to. I'll listen. Go ahead.
Okay.
You got rapid questions?
Well, I got some questions.
Abracadabra. All right.
I got like 4 or 5 questions. They're just random questions. Okay. Bill, what's one thing happening in the car business right now that customers should actually be excited about?
Absolute change everywhere. Look for it. Be less afraid and be more inquisitive, because you don't have to do anything. But the change and transparency is the buzzword, I guess. Transparency and consumer experience. Those two things together are going to change the car business. The other things that are driving it, I think, are things that nobody is talking about, and that is the lack of emotional connection to vehicles of people of our age that have the love affair with automobiles that today's consumer doesn't have in the same numbers, the same volume, if you will. And I've talked about it before. My oldest, Michael, that's 33 now, when Michael started driving, I had a truck for him before he was old enough to drive. And he was late 17 before he took an interest. And really that was because he had a girlfriend. That was the true catalyst, right? Was the freedom to go. Well, today, again, I talk about this right here. Today's technology is yesterday's horsepower. And folks today, they don't care so much about the car. It's almost getting to be like it's a personal transportation pod. So there's a lot of different things going on in the industry, but a consumer experience and transparency, and they go together. It's an exciting time for the customer, because as we move over the other side of it, you'll actually be able to enjoy something that you work so hard to afford. And that's important.
That's great. All right. Here's another quick one here. I got an answer for this question, actually.
Oh, boy.
If someone's vehicle could only have one feature for everyday driving in Tallahassee traffic, what should it be and why?
Do I have some ground here? Does it automatically drive? Is this an addition to it driving?
No. If someone's vehicle could have only one feature for everyday driving in Tallahassee,
I got it.
What would it be?
I got it. You seen that big old stop sign that comes off the yellow school bus? That's what we need. You're going down Tennessee Street and all these students are flying at you both directions, and you put your brakes on at the light, and one of those big old yellow stop signs pops off the side of your car.
You know, I would not disagree. When I come down Thomasville, this is just a PSA. When I come down Thomasville Road in the morning, actually, when I pull out of my neighborhood there on Deer Lake, I get nervous about the kids today. So I'm going to say this on the microphone, because if there's something we can do to jump in, I'd like to. Have you noticed the kids sit on the curb with their back to the traffic? Looking at their phone? It scares the hell out of me, man. It scares me big time, because they're looking at their phone. They're being kids. For God's sakes, let them be a kid for a minute, right?
I got another one too.
I'm nervous about people looking at their phone coming in their direction. And I mean, every time I see it, I want to just like stop and put concrete barriers there. So if we need to build benches or stops for kids to be at the bus stop, that one really makes me nervous seeing it.
I tell you, the scary thing is, go down, I pick a street, Gain Street. Okay. How many people are looking down at their phone with usually AirPods in? Can't hear a horn blow, can't hear anything. They're looking at the light to change, and they literally don't even look at a car that may be coming at them. And
I like my old cat Scooter. When I was a kid, Scooter was deaf, and he was on his way out the door. But when you would roll up the driveway, he'd be laying sprawled out in the sun, and he would look at you like, what's your problem, man?
I only have to say this, and I'll say it to you, Dale. I don't know what direction you're headed in, and I would just like for someone to use their turn signal.
Yeah.
Just tell me, because I don't know the direction you're going.
Yeah.
But if I knew, I would not be in a bad place.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, and when you learned how to drive, it was all about defensive driving, you know, looking out for what this dum-dum across from you.
Defensive driver, yeah.
Somebody looking out for this person who might not see that stop sign or run right through it. We need to have a defensive walking class.
Yeah. No, I'm a defensive. I swerve. I swerve like I am hammered.
Serious.
Even the drunk people are like, stay away from that guy. Stay away from that dude over there. I got a whole safe bubble around me where people just stop getting there.
Yeah.
All right. We out?
Yep.
All right. We got enough for your ear. I appreciate you spending some time with us this Saturday. If anybody hung out in the car just to hear the end of the show, drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. See you next week.
Yes.
See ya.